That's the message of Revelation.
Yeah.
Hey, 7 churches of Asia, you live in a land with a beast and a false prophet. You've got a beast of the sea and a beast of the land. But here, let me show you. The Lion of the tribe of Judah. The root of David.
Yeah.
And John said, I turned to see who they were talking about. And I saw a lamb as if it were slain. You know what I believe that means? Your God is the Lion of the tribe of Judah. But he's a lion that looks like a slaughtered lamb. Because your victory comes from his finished work, not from your might, not from your power, but by his Spirit, says the Lord. Give me that Genesis passage one more time, at Genesis 3, 10, 11. Yeah, there you go. I heard your voice in the garden. I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself. He said, who told you you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree which I commanded you that you should not eat? I'm going to leave this. I'm not going to take you to the next one tonight. We'll try to segue tomorrow. I want to kind of leave you with this thought. A few moments ago, I told you that I believe when God says to Adam, Adam, where are you? That it is not only geographical, it's you understanding where you are in your journey. But I also think it's the great biblical expression of the love of a parent for their child. And what I mean by that is, for anyone who's ever had a child or a grandchild, and I'm talking the little tyke, and you're holding their hand, they got their hand around your finger, you know, their hands are that little. And you go out in public with them and you find yourself in a public space, lots of people. We hadn't had those in a while because of this quarantine, you know, social distancing and all, but back in the old days, you used to be able to walk around and you'd elbow people you didn't know. I know this sounds like a weird world, but we all were just kind of on top of each other all the time. You know, just people just running around, shoulder to shoulder. And you ever remember those moments? It happened in my time as dad. My kids are too big for this now. We go out in public and they go, and then I see them an hour later. At that moment where you take your kid into the amusement park and you let go for a second because you got to tie your shoe, or you looking at the map or whatever, and you turn around and little Johnny's gone, and your heart stops beating. Almost literally, your heart stops beating. Like you have trouble breathing for a second because there's 15,000 people and they're not social distancing, and Johnny's too short and he's gone. And you look and he's not 5 feet away, and you start to click things off real fast. A bunch of stuff happens at the same time to a parent or a grandparent right here. You start to click off distance and direction. You become a bloodhound real fast. You immediately start to remember what they were wearing, the last place you saw them, where they might go next, and you ignore everything else. You don't hear anybody else. You don't see anything else. Nothing else matters because you're looking for Johnny, and you're screaming, "Johnny, where are you?" And then you find him, and your heart starts beating again, and then you whip the fire out of Johnny. No. Johnny, your belt's coming off. Because once you've found them, then now you can go back to being, the bruiser. For a long time in my Christianity, when God walked into the garden and said, "Adam, where are you?" I had God with smoke coming out of his nostrils and fire in his belly, and he was mad. And then I lost my kid in a crowd. And I realized that when God walks into the garden and says, "Adam, where are you?" his voice is breaking up, and there's the sound of tears in his eyes. The Bible is the story of a father who lost his son and then did everything he could to win him back. And you don't let your son just run. You stay on him all the way home.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
And you and I have for some reason become arbiters of who gets to go to heaven and who doesn't, because we judge people on the flesh rather than realizing they've got a dad with a crack in his voice saying, "Where are you?" It'd be better to help lead some people, find some Johnnies, and lead them back to their dad.